Is this camera on? Are we?
We're actually rolling.
Hey,
Hi.
welcome to the show. What?
We're gonna take this BB-8 and cut it open, and we're gonna put some really nefarious stuff in there, and we're gonna try to make a little war driving droid that we can use to kind of sniff networks and just have all around awesome fun.
I thought we were gonna raise it as our own.
No, we raised it as a child.
We raised it as a child. That was the first goal. Boom. Bam. Beautiful.
So this is a follow-up video that we're doing on the BB-8. As you can see, last time we were here, we cut it open. Okay. Head off, open up the case. All right, so what we found when we opened this up is we actually took this apart. There's some screws underneath, took the charging base off. The chip that we're actually using for this project is an ESP8266. It's a little wireless chip that has just enough memory to run small things like web servers and things like that on it. What we realized was the size of the chip allows it to kind of fit in the stabilizing area quite nice. What we had to get was we got this FT232 adapter, and this goes from a USB and it breaks out into our separate lines, our voltage, our ground, our transmit receive.
And so what we flashed onto the chip is this particular software called WiPon. And
basically what WiPon allows you to do is it gives you the option to do some deauthentication attacks or some network spoofing together, some various information that you can get off of different machines connected to a network.
Okay, so today is actually the day that we're going to take the chip that we placed in here and we're going to finish doing the soldering to the board.
yeah, this should allow us to operate this chip without having to connect it to an external battery. Ooh, that's some accurate soldering right there.
So this is the ground. The black wire is the ground. It's been soldered to this ground pin down here. And then on the other side, that red wire is our 3-volt incoming VCC, and that's actually soldered to the little tiny 3.3 volt pin on this board here.
So now that we've got the chip soldered into the board, we've got it placed, all we're going to need to do with the body is just place it back in the thing, in the shell, and then glue it back together. And so we're done with the body. Now we're trying to tackle this unlikely task of putting a camera in the head, which we really hope we can get. Mm-hmm. Do we want the highest setting?
Yeah, higher, way higher. There we go.
So as you can see, it fits really well in there. We poked a little hole in the top where we got the antenna out of, and I really dig the fact that it doesn't look out of place at all on the BB-8 head. Really all we have left to do,
Put the small battery in, glue this back on once the battery's in there, and then just glue the body together, and then we should be all ready to go and see where we're going and everything and cause all sorts of problems.
yeah, set up
Awesome
a test
stuff.
environment and see what we can do.
Yep.
Now it's time to attack. We got BB-8 rolling around doing his thing. He's going around. As you can see, we've scanned and we've collected a lot of networks in the area. And we are beyond ready to get this thing going and see what we can do. So
Hell yeah, so what can we do?
Let's choose our network. So we have a secure one we set up because what we're doing is deauthing it is kind of questionable if you don't own the network that you're doing it to. So
we own this network.
For testing purposes, we set up a sec lab. That's one we've selected. So we're just going to go under to attack now.
Don't be criminals, kids.
Yep, that's important. And we got our deauth here, and we're going to start this.
All right, so what does it do?
Now we're kicking off all the computers that are associated to that network. We can use another machine to capture the handshakes, and then we can crack those and get the password to the network. So this is a great method for either doing like a denial of service, basically, where you just keep their Wi-Fi down, or you can use this to aid in a plethora of other attacks that you could potentially go through and gain information from.
Cool. And so we really encourage everybody to go online and learn more about these things.
Yeah, definitely.
Because they're really, really super interesting.
Yeah, so go online, buy a robot, make it do bad stuff. That's the moral of the story.
For good reasons.
For good reasons. For research purposes, it's very important.
They can't see your air quotes.
Yeah, they can't see my air quotes. It's totally fine. So yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. This project was a blast. I know we had more fun taking it apart and figuring out what we could kind of cram into it. But it's been an absolute wonderful ride so far, and I think that maybe we'll have to do a follow-up version at some point. And really pimp
roll it into a building.
Oh yeah, we'll get something big going.
All right.